Hey, what's up, Dean? SEER Performance. We are at the shop as usual. Sean's Mustang. Ugh. Last night ended up painting the wheel wells, the floor pan, um, underneath. Most of it missed a couple things, but I got most of it painted. I have no more paint. So today I came in and looked at the trunk issue. So basically, I just threw them away too. The hinges had a big hoop that came down, and that's what hit. So I thought about it. I poked my head up in there. I pulled the trunk down, and really it was only like an inch that needed to be. The width of this bar really is all it needed to be taken out of it. So you can see the swoop is right here. So that swoop continued to cross over to there. So I ended up just cutting it out and putting a piece of, I think it's 3/4 square tube. It might be 1/2 inch square tube in there, kind of setting the deck lid on. I undid all the spring rod so I could set the deck lid, push the inside of the hinge down, kind of measure. So this piece goes all the way into the back, into the front. Then got the deck lid back on, bolted it up, tacked everything real good. Put the latch grab whatever thingamabobber in, and it shuts pretty good. A little bit of alignment. This needs to come forward a little bit and down a hair, which is it's easy to do. There's these screws right here. You can see I just got it off a little bit. So just kick it forward a hair, down a little bit. That'll be done. So I did that. I welded it out, sprayed it a little bit of white just to kind of unuglify it. But now we don't have a hinge issue anymore. The rods are back on, so the trunk pulls itself up, and not like rapidly. I put it on the middle one again. Then I fought with the gas tank. Because the tin is higher than the bar I put in, it just makes it difficult for that to get in. So I kind of had to worm it in and down and then forward, and kind of use a ratchet strap a little bit to kind of pull it forward. Kind of rolled the front of the tin down and then smacked it down in there. I got the fuel cell back in. The vent line I got ran down through there. I was gonna tie it back to the old vent line over there, which I might still do. I could pull the battery box piece back out, but it's slapped full of clay, so I'd have to crunch it and get it to clean out a little bit, but I may end up doing that. But I got the battery box vent going down through the frame. You can see it right there. I got the Holley main harness, battery positive, battery negative back here. The positive is here right now. I got to take the block off, feed it through the box, but I got the negatives through the box. I got the Holley harness through the box onto all the negatives. I got to figure out what to do with that negative cable. It was just in the floor pan, so I may go back to doing it in the floor pan, or I may do it like in this bolt hole here. I'll grind the paint off of it, put a nut and a bolt in there. But I got the battery box bolted down. I got to tighten these nuts a little bit. These nuts. But what I did underneath, oh boy, it's gonna be a little bit hard. Getting old. So there you can see the fuel fittings are like perfect. Yeah. So up there you can see the bolt, and then you see a piece of flat stock coming down, going across from rod to rod. Basically acts like a support for the floor pan, because the floor pan's only like 20 gauge. So it acts as a support, like a giant washer, and it shouldn't pull out. That should be good. And then I took and put some bolts up into the square tube, welded them onto the end of the square tube to act like studs, and I mounted a transmission cooler with the fan, so it just bolts up with studs, comes right off, nice and easy. Pulled the lines back. That one was short, because of whatever configuration. However this was sat in there before, one line was a little bit shorter than the other, like 10 inches. So what I did was I put that little block right there that has an NPT port that he could put like a transducer or a temp sensor in, and he can read transmission fluid temp. Now I don't know what line that is. I didn't trace it all the way up, but you can see the lines have a little bit of slack in them, so that I can pull them to the side or wherever I gotta go with them. Probably gonna, I don't know, I have no idea. I gotta push the brake line up, but I'll get those up out of the way. But they're above that shock brace bar. They're above the tube I put in, the cage tube, if you want to call it a rear cross member. They're above all that, so they're not in the way of anything moving. They're under the upper control arm, so they shouldn't get pinched, cut, nothing like that. Like I said, I got the fuel lines left to string, which I left enough room right there to string both of them through there. And then, oh, my back. So the way the hose is on his, which I could have just flipped that, I didn't really think about it. But it has a 90 on one end and a straight on the other. So to do this, I'm gonna come off this fitting here, and yeah, the caps were leaking. And then I'm just gonna bend this like that, basically. And the filter, hopefully the filter will mount right to here. And then the pump, I'm thinking mount it right in front. He has like a connection fitting, so they're both together. Worst case, I can use the 90 off of his line. Where is it? Up there. I could use the 90 off of his line on the other end of this, and just do a 90 there, and then a 90 here, and screw his fitting on. That might be what I have to do. I don't know, but my back is killing me, and I got a mouthful of transmission fluid because, of course, the lines have been down over this pan for who knows how long. And today, of all days, I string them up and over, turn it down, and drips right in my mouth. But yeah, ugh. So that's what he's got there. So this 90 here, I either need to change it, or that 90 there, sorry. I either need to change it, or hopefully it'll, you know, the other line will flex over, flip this one over, whatever. Then he's got this little junction right here to the pump. So it's good. I'm feeling it. And that is not, I'd say that's not 100 micron, or so that's probably a 10. I don't see 100 micron filter, and I don't think there's one under the hood. So I'm gonna have to talk to him when he comes. He's gonna have to get a 100 micron filter for the post pump. 10 is good for pre-pump. 100, you need 100. That's even what Snake Eater tells you, because we do have his 1500cc injectors there in the box. You do need 100 micron to keep the warranty on the injectors, to keep the shit out of them, basically. But yeah, so that's what I have left. I got to string those two. The fuel return, I'm hoping, is long enough to go to the top over there, being that I put the vent on this side. Or I could take that tube, extend it, put that fitting over there, and swap the fitting back. Whichever way I have to do it. I can't do it today. Back's killing me. But Sean's car will be done tomorrow. I'm gonna make a little mount for the ECU thingamahooker. It's a technical term for it. And I'll probably mount it. Thinking mount it like under here with the lights facing out so that you could see them. But I'll get to that later. Ooh. After I get everything else back in, I gotta make a patch for that there, and that's about it. But do have some really cool news. Oops, sorry. We are actually, I say we all the time. It's me, myself, and I. We doing it again. I will be attending the Holley Gauntlet April 1st through the 6th. And that will give me full certification on Holley tuning. So if you're out there and you want tuning on Holley Terminator X Sniper, or start from the beginning, Sniper, Terminator X Max, HP, Dominator, you could definitely hit me up. Leave me a comment, or you can email me, searperformance@gmail.com, and we could do track tuning. We could do it remote. You can come by, bring the car by. We've done a lot of Holley cars. Chris's Caprice, which is mid-8s, we'll say mid-8s. We tune that one all the time at the track. And we got Chavo's C10, DJ's Cutlass, the Caprice. List goes on and on. And hopefully be able to help Sean with some of his tuning. I think that would be pretty cool, because he's out of North Carolina, I believe, and he's going to do some events up there. So I think that'd be pretty sweet to get one of our shop cars, because this I consider this a, you know, one of our shop built cars now. It's got our full cage and back half stuff that we do. I believe he is changing the turbo out and the intake manifold. I think he has like the Holley Sniper intake manifold. So he'll be changing that stuff out when he gets home. I think he's here, or he's on his way here. He'll be here. I don't really know. He'll watch the video. He'll leave a comment. I don't know if he's copying and pasting. Looking good, Dean. At least give me a thumbs up at the end of it, dude. But no, I look forward to meeting him. And hopefully we make him happy. So I will post the final video, I believe will be tomorrow, on Sean's Mustang. Not the final video, the final in the shop video with this initial set of work. We'll get it all knocked out tomorrow. Hopefully he'll come by tomorrow or the next day, or whatever day he decides to come by. I'm super excited to meet him. Really looking forward to meeting him. Maybe we can get Bobby on the phone and talk trash. But anyways, that's it for this one. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, blah blah blah. Leave me a comment. Appreciate you watching. Have a good day.